Can you be child-free by choice and still grieve the loss of motherhood? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. So generally, I feel like there's two categories of people that can fall into being child-free by choice, right? Like there's a lot of people that that knew very early on that they wanted to be child-free. I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying that they knew that they wanted to be child-free when they were like 10, 11, 12 in elementary school, middle school. By high school, they knew without a question, but by like elementary school, it was already kind of percolating, right? So there's those people. And then there's other people that, one second. My neighbors are outside right now. Their little one is going to be a little noisy, so just give me a sec. So the next group of people are people that, whether it's your family, whether it was society, like the media and things like that, whatever the outside sources were, that were really pushing you towards the direction of motherhood before you ever really got a chance to figure out if it was something that you personally wanted, like, oh, here's the baby doll and here's the baby shows and let's get you babysitting and let's get you cooking and cleaning and you're not going to find a man, you're not going to find a husband if you're not going to be a good cook, pushing you in the direction of motherhood before you were really able to articulate what it is that you want within yourself. And then it comes to a point where you may be questioning or have this aha moment of, oh, I do want to be child free. I don't want to have children of my own. And then there was this reckoning of the life that you've lived up until this point. And the dreams that you were now realizing were never really your dreams, but they were dreams that you held very close and dear to your heart. And it's like, wow, it's that classic Disney movie realization of, it's not my dream, Dad, it's yours. It's that. Which can still be mourned because there was a lot of energy and effort put into that. Especially as somebody who grew up in the church, I was taught how to be a mom long before I was taught how to date. Arguably, they don't teach how to date in the church. They teach you how to be a wife and they teach you how to be a mom for all the little girls and femme presenting people, So yeah, it took me a while to be able to articulate outside of all of the parent indoctrination that I was getting, not just in the church, but also in society. All of the not all of the girls, but a lot of girls in like high school, we would say, oh, well, like, what are your top baby names? Like, oh, I really like these names. Nobody can take these names. These are mine. Like, the little boys weren't having these conversations. They weren't having these conversations. Arguably, they still didn't know how to wipe their butts. They're like 35 now, and most of them still don't know how to wipe their butts. They weren't concerned about baby names. But these are things that we were taught, things that we were taught to do, participate in, and emotionally invest in to be moms. And then you realize I never wanted this. And then it can kind of feel sad because it's like I put so much time into this, put so much thought, put so much energy into this. Some people might have even been investing into this, whether it's like IVF or, depending on how far along in your realization of I don't want to be kids, you might have already started buying baby furniture, baby clothes, making like a Pinterest board, whatever it is. And then there's this, whoa, what do I do with this dream now? Because it's not mine, but I've been holding it for so long. So to let it go can feel sad. It can feel painful. But it's not just a letting it go and then your hands are empty. It's you're putting something down to pick up something that is authentically yours. So that mourning process isn't just a release of a mourning process. So that way you are now directionless. You are now, oh my God, who am I? If I'm not going to be a mom, mind you, you're not even a mom yet. Some people might realize this. Hopefully a lot of people realize this before becoming a mom, that being a mom isn't what is for them, right? So for those particular people, this part of the video is specifically for you. Like, you don't have to pick up that thing and then come to that hard reckoning. loud people outside. You don't have to pick up that thing and come to that hard reckoning while you're in the situation. You now have the space to say, oh, okay, this thing that I was holding so close isn't for me. I'm going to put that down. And then I'm going to pick up this other thing. And I don't really know what it is. I don't really know what it means, but it feels right. And I get to look at it and I get to say, this is mine. And that's beautiful. And yes, it's sad to put the thing down, but now you've got something new and authentically yours in your hand. And for some of the moms that have been coming up that realized a little too late that maybe motherhood isn't the best fit for you, one, your experience is completely valid. And I really appreciate you guys reaching out in the comment section. Your voices are necessary and heard, and I'm really trying to make a space for you, not just for the moms that that motherhood isn't quite for them, but also for like active parents. I really appreciate it when active, not to say that the moms that don't want to be moms are not active parents, that's not what I'm saying, but for the parents that wanted to be parents, the parents that knew at the same way that the young kids sometimes knew, oh yeah, I knew I didn't want kids at the age of 9. Sometimes people knew that they wanted kids at the age of 9. That's what I'm talking about. So active was not the right word. Apologies. But I love hearing those comments from that community also, because they tend to go hand in hand with what I'm saying. Like, I'm not anti-baby. I'm just, if you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. Please don't. It's better for you and it's better for the baby that is not here if you don't have them. The soul still exists. I fully believe that the soul still exists somewhere. It'll just find its way to a house that they are wanted in. So yeah, you're fine. But anyway, for the moms that are in that tough situation, the in-between, the like, I'm a mom and it's not fitting and it's not sitting. Fair, valid. I know that it's going to vary from situation to situation, but I cannot recommend strongly enough the ability to make community. The ability to make community with other moms. And I do also think that having strong male role models, regardless of whatever the gender of the child is, having strong male role models is going to be important in the long run. But for you to have a strong village around you, so that way you don't feel like you're losing yourself in this thing that you didn't realize wasn't really gonna sit. Because you could still be a great mom. You could still raise well-rounded children, productive members of society, even if it doesn't fully fit and sit in you. You can still do a good job. And I'm sure that you're doing the best that you can. And I really appreciate that. I know you don't know me from anybody else online, but I do really appreciate that, that you're trying your best. And so that way you don't lose yourself finding other people that are around you. I will say that, even though I have a complicated relationship with the church, the fact that my mom was able to, as a single mom, find other single moms, married moms, widows, people that wanted to be moms, young people, older. She was able to find mentors in the church. And this is not to say like, oh, everybody go to church. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are certain community organizations that cultivate spaces for people to build these kinds of connections. And a healthy church is one of those spaces. The church that I went to, it had a lot of downfalls. And I will say that for what it was worth, I got just as much good as I got bad. So keep that with a grain of salt, And along with this idea of mourning, I think that there is a life that we think we're supposed to lead. And it kind of fits in a nice little box, Like you grow up, you find a boy, you fall in love, you get married, you get the house, you have the kids, everything is, like it's right? And we can plan around that. Now, I say plan because socioeconomically everything's on fire. So we can plan only so much, right? And the realities of all of those things are a lot messier than we would hope they would be, Sometimes the boy lives in another country. Sometimes your wedding is postponed for 5 years. Sometimes something terrible, sometimes you get a divorce. Sometimes your house catches on fire, or maybe none of those things happen. And then something else, right? Like life is unpredictable, but you had a plan. You had a plan. And that plan involved motherhood. And it was a plan that you worked towards. And now you realize, I don't like this plan. Oh my God, I don't want this plan. And it can be really scary. It can be really scary because you see the road ahead and you're like, I was so prepared to go down this road. I bought the shoes, I bought my backpack, I told all of my friends and family that I was going down this road. And now I'm not going down this road? Understandable. It can be shocking. It can be, and grief can also be a part of that. Because you planned, you were invested in going down this road. And now you're on a completely new road that a lot of people talk very poorly of. A lot of people, not people that I know anyway, but like a lot of people speak down on actively choosing to be child-free. And now you're like, oh my God, what is this road? I haven't planned for this. I'm scared. I feel alone. I'm confused. I feel directionless. Right? All justified. But then you still take one step and it feels good. Then you take another step and you feel a little stronger. And you go, wow, this is my road. And you could have gone down that other road and been uncomfortable the entire way and still gone down it because it was a plan that you had. Plans change. But also I'm an air sign. I'm a very, very air sign, very, very airy air sign with a lot of air placements. So like I go woo, woo, like that's not a big deal for me. If you got a lot of earth placements, listen, I understand that it could be a little bit more, big change, right? But if it's a change that's more aligned with your spirit, then yes, grieve, but also celebrate. Because there's so much to be celebrated. You have the rest of your life that is now in your hands to celebrate. Things to think about. All right. I should have said this earlier, but like, share, subscribe, all those things. I'm going to go have a snack. All right. Bye.